Call a meeting of the Board of Estimate and Apportionment. Let's see, meeting called this afternoon. Karen, the press was notified, right? The press was notified by Karen Cisco. And we have 2 items on the agenda. Attendance is myself and Alderman Massey, and Council President Rodriguez is absent, and Alderman Green, Alderman Jean-Francois, Alderman Kleiner, City Treasurer Don Paris, Karen Cisco, Jacob Twiel, and did I say Alderman Kleiner is here?
How about John Numchuck?
And that's who I forgot, John Nunchuck. So I said Kleiner twice. All right, so item number 1. Jacob Twiel requesting approval to purchase 10 acres of land adjacent to the water treatment plant, along with authorizing the mayor to execute related documents. This first step is to appropriate $10,000 to lock in the deal, followed by future grant money. This requires the following water fund balance transfer. From water fund balance, $10,000 to purchase of land. Jacob, you want to get up and answer and respond to it? And I'll just address the source of funds, but the reference to the future grant money is the intent, at least my intent, is to tap into the $12 million from the federal government that we'll be getting $6 million in hopefully this month, and then $6 million more next year, making it one of those projects to fund. I don't want to fund this strictly through fund balance. It might require a short-term fund balance, but to replenish the fund balance with that grant money. But you can explain the project.
Right. Thank you, Mayor. So the intention is to fund it if we have to fund it, and
Well, we're funding the $10,000 down payment.
right.
But everyone has to have the understanding that by the time we're ready to close, if we don't have the grant money in hand, that we're going to short-term fund it through the fund balance.
Very good.
But from what I'm being told, the grant money will be coming in way before we're ready to close on this.
Good.
We're being told that sometime this month, that money will be hitting the city treasury.
Excellent. Thank you, Mayor. So this project is basically, it goes back to the old Mrs. Ogden's farm, which is directly against the water treatment plant.
Now, was Mrs. O'Leary's cow there? Wasn't that the Chicago fire? All right. Massey, you missed it. It was. I know you were about 10 years old when that happened, but go ahead.
So basically, we really need this 10 acres property in there so that for the future expansion of the water treatment plant. It's not going to be in 10 years or 30 years or 40 years. That's, probably for next generation will take over, and when they are ready to expand or do something or build a new water treatment plant, they'll have this additional 10 acres to breathe, because otherwise we're just contained and in the town of Wallkill and so on. So this is part of about 20-acre plot that the owner is willing to subdivide the 10 acres that are against the city property, against the water treatment plant for the future expansion, and then she's going to keep the 10, just under 10 acres, so that she can sell it to some entity or some person in there, so they can use it whatever the zoning allows in the town of Wallkill. And so you're approving right now the $10,000, like the mayor suggested in there, which is down payment basically on the contract, and it's going to be subject to property being appraised for the $200,000, which is a sale price, and common council approval, which is hopefully it will happen tonight. And that's all I have, Mayor, about it. It's just really, it's a tremendous investment for the next generation. It's not for us. We're never going to see the benefit of it, but
Any questions, Mr. Massey? No. Since we have some council members here, would any of you like to ask a question? Okay. Say motion to approve by myself.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Massey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for voting, Mr. Jean-Francois.
Muscle memory.
Item 2 on the agenda. Jacob Twiel requesting approval of a change order from Turco Golf for the redesign of the drainage system proposal for Fancher Davidge Park and authorize the mayor to sign related documents. This requires the following general fund balance transfer of $201,922.80 to the expansion project. And Mr. Tweel, please give an ongoing explanation of this. And I don't know if you saw the email from Mr. Fucci? Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. So, as the mayor knows, we had some issue with the field in there because it's built on fill, and so we had to do some soil borings, which I reported to you before, and so on and so forth. And now, the architect and the contractor came up with a new drainage system under the field in order to drain the water, and so that you will not have ponding. The cost of that, along with the topsoil, they tested the topsoil. The topsoil is not suitable for field. It's more of a clay material. So they're going to replace the entire topsoil that is needed. They're going to import it. The cost of all that is $201,000. The mayor and I have been going back and forth with these people about, they wanted to put an additional 4 inches of sand under the entire place in there, and we resisted it in there. So this number, $201,000, is going to be reduced by $31,000 approximately. So we're requesting your consideration to approve this transfer, whether the mayor is going to fund it from the grant or wherever he wants, wherever he suggests funding it from. But we need that balance, $201,000 less than 31, which is about $170,000. So that number should be reduced to 170. A letter from the architect went over to the contractor about 5:30, like the mayor suggested, after having a phone call between myself, the architect, and the soil engineer, and that's when we decided that there's really no need for the 4-inch, which is 4-inch of sand additional, which is $31,000. That's it. Do you have any questions for me?
Well, again, the intent would be to fund this through the grant rather, and restore the money through the fund balance. And we'll be making an argument for the COVID funds. Well, they're not COVID funds, but they're supposed to be related to capital projects that were delayed by COVID. And so we have an argument to be made. But the end game is that we have to fund it either through general fund or through the grant monies. Our preference would be the grant monies. Any questions?
No.
Anyone from the board want to ask any questions? Go ahead, Andrew.
Question, thank you, Mayor. Just about that 4 inches of sand. I mean, is it, I'm just curious for obviously probably drainage purposes, right? To allow water. So, I mean, are we looking at something that potentially would allay problems down the road or stop any, not having that 4 inches, is that going to cause, damage to the fields or that? I mean, I know, I'm sure you vetted it all. I'm just curious as.
Yeah, exactly. If we thought it's going to cause any adverse impact by eliminating it, we would not have suggested it, but it will not.
Okay.
Because the original contract document calls for 6-inch sandy soil in there, which is by nature is
right.
And the contractor has been pushing for the additional 4 inches of sand, and the mayor and I, we held the line and said, why do you need this if you have a 6-inch of well draining material under it in there? Right. So he said the soil engineer requested it. We spoke to the soil engineer this evening, just before I came here, and he said, no, you will not, he did not recommend it. So,
okay.
So something got lost in the translation, but if we thought there is an adverse effect, we would not have dropped it.
I figured. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
So we have a sponsor, will be myself, and seconded by Alderman Massey. So roll call, Alderman Jean-Francois.
No, Jude. That was a trick, Jude.
Almost. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion to close.
So moved.
All right.